What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of the Baltimore Ravens offensive line. We're going to get into some of what we've seen from this unit. Yesterday against the Dolphins, they looked really good. And I think this is one of the better young offensive lines. They have some really good pieces on that O-line. Roger Rosengarten, obviously a very good young offensive tackle. Andrew Voorhees, one of my favorite guards in the NFL. Loved when he came out of college. And of course, the center, Tyler Linderbaum, one of the best centers in the NFL. I'm excited to get into the tape. And we're going to go ahead and just start right away with this power run towards the left of your screen. Phenomenal block by the offensive lineman. And look at the finish here. Look at Derrick Henry just straight up run over the safety on this one. Just a really nice, powerful run. And of course, the offensive linemen also do a phenomenal job with the blocking up front. And I want to talk about this because I think the Baltimore Ravens easily run the best power-based run concept. If you guys watch some of what happens up front here, watch the double team on the 3 technique defensive tackle. And watch that double team move this guy out of that gap. And then look at the climb to number 25. At the same time, watch the kick out here by the left guard. The linebacker 20 is going to fill, and then watch Voorhees kick this guy out. That's a really good job, and you see the lane just opens up perfectly for Henry, and he just ends up finishing. 6-yard run on 1st and 7. Alrighty, guys, I want to go ahead and get into this 3rd and 4th play in which Isaiah Likely picked up 35 yards. This was the second drive that the Baltimore Ravens ended up scoring a touchdown on. And it's a really nice play by the offensive line. Of course, Lamar Jackson doing Lamar Jackson stuff. Being able to create a play when the initial play wasn't really there. And then being able to find his guy after he creates. And of course, that leads to 35 yards. And this play right here kind of changes the game, right? If you think about it, 7-3 at this point. If the Dolphins get off the field, the momentum shifts back to the Miami Dolphins, who had just had a really nasty turnover. Leads to 7 points. They end up going 3 and out. A stop here could have flipped the game. But, of course, really nice job by the guys up front. And I want to give some shout-outs here to the young offensive lineman, Andrew Voorhees. I'm telling you guys, this guy's going to be a really good football player. Coming out of college, I always felt that he was one of the best offensive linemen coming out. Of course, he had the injury, and the Baltimore Ravens decided we're going to draft him anyways. And we'll just let him develop, right? Or get healthy and then kind of come back and develop into that football player for us. This is a really nice rep in a one-on-one against a really good defensive tackle. And just look at that anchor right there. Look at that. That is phenomenal. Now, at the end of this, of course, Lamar Jackson steps up and kind of gets out of there, and 92 is able to get off the block. But to be able to hold a really good defensive tackle the way he does in a true one-on-one situation, keep in mind, the offensive center is going to slide over here to the left, which is going to put these guys over here into a one-on-one. Right guard's going to do a great job being able to anchor down on this one. And even more than that, Roger Rosengarten did a phenomenal job this game as well. Now, on this play, there's a little bit of pressure from Jalen Phillips. It's not a terrible rep by Roger Rosengarten, but I do think he needs to do a better job pushing Phillips around the edge and not letting him stop and come through the middle of the pocket. And I want to show you guys what I mean by this. So again, it's not a terrible rep. He does a pretty good job beating the edge player to the landmark. He does a nice job making contact initially as well. What I would like to see from the tackle is to stick and keep the hands on him, keep the footwork going, and make this defensive end go over the top and not allow him to essentially stop himself the way he's going to and then come back and essentially pressure the quarterback and then chase the quarterback from the backside. Phillips does do a great job with the rip. Phillips is a guy that's known to have a really nice rip move. So one of the things Phillips does is he speed rushes, and as he speed rushes, he's going to rip, and then he's able to kind of stop himself and get that pressure from the backside, right? So you see him kind of rip through there. Either way, phenomenal job by Lamar to be able to break that tackle, keep his eyes downfield, 35 yards on this one. Just a really good job. And 2 plays later, of course, the Baltimore Ravens are going to end up scoring a 20-yard touchdown pass. This is going to be cover 1 man defense, and Lamar Jackson just reads this perfectly. If you're going to run man coverage against the Ravens, they're going to pick you apart on these type of plays. And it is interesting because no one faces man coverage more than Lamar Jackson. And I don't know why that's the case, to be honest with you, because Lamar is, he's fast. So if you're playing man, he can already kind of get out of there. And then on top of that, they run these type of concepts a lot. Right? They run these crossing patterns where you're going to get these natural picks. And of course, Lamar, he had 4 touchdowns yesterday. And part of this is because the defensive play calling. Either way, just a really nice job by Jackson. The offensive line is going to face a simulated pressure on this one, and they don't do a great job picking it up. You're actually going to get a free rusher right at Lamar. So let's go ahead and just talk about kind of what happens on this play, what the simulated pressure kind of means. I think the Baltimore Ravens have to, you gotta do a little bit of a better job to pick this up. And a part of being able to pick these type of blitzes up is you have to have quicker guys on the offensive line. You have to have guys that can process. And in my opinion, the right guard Daniel here is just not fast enough picking up these defensive line games. You can tell he's super, super slow on this one. He kind of leans into number 92 as well, who again, I think is a good defensive tackle. But as he leans into it, he doesn't make a clean exchange. He's leaning. No one picks up number 20 because of this. So essentially what the Baltimore Ravens are going to face here is number 94 is lined up on the right side of the center. He's going to slant super hard to the left, and they're going to bring 20 right through that gap. So 94 slants super hard to the left, 20 comes free through that gap. Now the exchange has to happen. Right tackle takes 92. Right guard takes the center's guy. Center has to get over here to number 20. And that just does not happen. And then at the same time, you're also going to see number 25 is actually going to take a couple steps up. And the slides to the right. Let me back this up. You guys missed this. Look at the center here. He's basically telling us slides to the right. Left guard, left tackle, 25 and 2. There's also a guy right off the edge here. 25 is not going to come. He is going to take a couple steps up, but he has the running back, so he's going to just release with the running back. And, it just doesn't get processed quick enough. And to me, the right guard has to do a better job. And it's not a huge deal because technically it's a touchdown. But I do want to point this out because I think one of the ways teams are going to try to attack the Baltimore Ravens as they go forward is they're going to try to attack the right guard. They're going to try to attack the inexperience of the left guard. Although the left guard looks really, really good right now, this is where teams are going to try to attack. So it's not a huge deal, but I did want to just kind of point it out. You're going to run some power-based concepts here. You're going to get a 14-yard run on this one. Once again, very, very similar play to that play we looked at down in the goal line where Henry ends up running over the safety. Once again, you're going to get the left guard here, and he's going to pull and he's going to kick out. I believe he kicks out number 15. But just look at this block. It does not get better than that, man. That's such a nice, impressive block. And one of the things that teams do on the defensive side is they're going to run light boxes. So right now the Dolphins are in a light box. So number 15, he could technically spill. Right? Could try getting to the inside of Voorhees here. So Voorhees has to process all these different things, right? He has to be able to pick this up. He's going to do a really, really nice job. Love how low he is as he makes contact. Just a really good guard, right? Guy with a ton of upside, ton of potential. Right tackle, Roger Rosengarten, does a really nice job with the double. And then he's going to climb up to the linebacker. This is a really good block by him. And you see him do a perfect job on number 25. And then, of course, Henry ends up just running this right through that gap. That's a really nice job. 14 yards on this one. Let's get into the next play. Alrighty, guys, I want to show you guys two back-to-back run plays. This is 2nd and 3. The Ravens are only going to pick up 2 yards, and then it's going to be a 3rd and 1, and they're going to end up losing a yard. And I want to talk about the right guard because, I've heard him talk about Daniel Falili a couple different times, and I hope I'm saying his name right. And I believe Harbaugh really likes this guy, but I'm telling you guys, he's not a good offensive lineman. I'm just not sold on this guy. He's too slow. There's a lot of plays like this, and this is one of those plays where you got to generate movement. You have to be able to take this 3 technique here, set up to the inside of him, but not only just block him, but you got to move him. Move him 1 or 2 yards out towards the left and give the fullback an actual lane to get up to this guy and then potentially pick this up with the running back. On this play here, if you guys keep an eye, the right guard just does not do a good job with the movement, nor does he stick on the block. He kind of falls, there's no movement, and his guy kind of gets in there and makes the play. Now, this was 2nd and 3, only a 2-yard gain. So on 3rd and 1, the Ravens are once again going to try to run the football. And on this one, they're going to run zone towards the left, and once again, the right guard misses his block. And the right guard's not the only guy that kind of makes the mistake on this one, but I want you guys to watch the right guard first. He's going to have a block on number 25, and 25 is going to get right past him. Now, here's why that matters, because on this play, if the right guard ends up reaching number 25, the inside linebacker, if the right guard gets up to number 25 here, and if he's able to just properly get in front of him and cut him off, well, the point of zone runs is for the running back to be able to bend it into one of these gaps. So if the defense is going to overflow towards the right, keep an eye on number 94 specifically, watch him overflow to the right. Henry would naturally cut this off of this block right here. And you would cut this into this gap. You only need 1 yard. 25 ends up jumping the gap. The right guard doesn't get there. And Henry even considers it, right? You can tell if you guys look at Henry's body movement here. As he's going to get the football, he kind of leans into this gap before he ends up bouncing it to the outside. So to me, I think he would have hit that gap if 25 wasn't there. Play ends up losing a yard, 3rd and 1, lose a yard, you punt the football. To me, right guard has to do a better job. So you got a 3rd and 6 on this one. Keep an eye on the center. He's going to do a really, really nice job picking this up, releasing the right guard to pick up the blitzing linebacker. And then look at the movement here by the center. And this is why people think this is a top 2 to 3 center in the NFL. And I generally agree with that. I think he's definitely one of the top 5 guys at that position. He's a phenomenal football player. And you just see it, man. Look at the smartness, the processing. He literally points this out. As soon as this guy recognizes it, he kind of releases that right guard to pick up that linebacker. And of course, he overtakes his guy. And just the movement he generates, Lamar picks up 13 yards on 3rd and 6. It's a really, really good job right there by Linderbaum. And you got another nice play by Linderbaum on this one here. He's going to get put into a bad spot, but he recovers really well. And this is great footwork. This is great technique. This is what makes a center a great football player, right? Or an offensive lineman, generally speaking. Number 95 here is going to do a great job grabbing onto Linderbaum. So 95 goes outside to the right. He's going to grab onto Linderbaum, right, the shoulder, and he's going to pull him downwards. And that's a great spot for number 95 to be in. And for Linderbaum, he just kind of ends up getting caught. It's really not a big deal. Stuff like this happens all the time. But it's the recovery and the footwork. Look at that. That is beautiful. A play in which number 95 kind of gains the leverage. A play in which that defensive tackle ends up, getting into a good spot. He ends up getting shut down. That's a really, really nice rep. And of course, this play picks up 10 yards. Beautiful job by the center. Alrighty, guys, check this next play out. Just a couple more plays I want to get into. You're going to get a 19-yard run on this one by Derrick Henry. Pin pull concept. He's got to give so much credit here to Bateman. Absolutely beautiful block. Play does not work without this front side block on the defensive end. And trust me, Bradley Chubb, man, former 1st-round pick, is an absolute massive edge player. And just look at that block. It does not get better than this. You deserve so much credit on this one here if you're Rashad Bateman. Just love that block right there. And of course, even the left tackle on this one, watch the reach on the linebacker number 20. Watch him get up there and just a really good job. Fullback kicks out number 23, and it's just enough where these guys are able to pick up 19 yards on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this is the first time you guys are on this channel, do consider subscribing. We are going to cover the Baltimore Ravens on this channel this season. It's probably the 2nd Ravens video I've done this season. And my goal is to do at least 2 every single month, if not more. I truly do believe this. I think the Baltimore Ravens are one of the best teams in football. And I know some people are going to say that's kind of wild given they've only won 3 games this season. But I'm telling you guys, man, this team is good. And I say that because obviously on the offensive side, you have Lamar Jackson and you have some weapons. You can put up 30 points on any given night. But it's a defense that I really like. And I'm not talking about any of the defensive players specifically in this video. But Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, Roquan Smith, those are 3 of the best players at their positions. I know Starks is technically a rookie still, but he's a really good football player. Then it goes even beyond that with some of the depth players that you kind of have. To me, the Baltimore Ravens are one of the best teams in all of football. Don't be surprised if they win the Super Bowl this year. Of course, they got to win a bunch of games to get into the playoffs. But I think this could be the year, man, and I don't say that lightly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.